Merry Christmas, everyone. It is Christmas Day for you when you are seeing this. So if you celebrate, Merry Christmas. If you don't, have a very, very happy day today. But I am here to bring you some more Christmas cheer via multiple genres. So without much further ado, let me tell you about some more books I read. But also, let's give a moment for these gorgeous gingerbread men. That's my favorite Christmas decor. I go for gingerbread men and candy canes. I like the sweet treats of Christmas. So the first book that I read for this vlog was Winterwood by J.G. Faherty probably. And this is a horror. Grandpa said Krampus was real. Everyone thought he was just being a little kooky and told him to please stop scaring the children. But now the grandkids are being marinated for dinner. So what's the moral of the story? Always believe your creepy relatives at Christmas. So we have Anders Bach. He's from the old country in Germany, I believe, and his grandsons are snatched away by the monstrous Yule lads. So he, his daughter, and his son-in-law must venture into Winterwood, a frozen nightmare realm ruled by Krampus and his wild hunt. What follows is a chilling trek through blood-covered snow, family guilt, and every myth you ignored as a kid that comes back to haunt you with antlers and a hunger for your flesh. So think the Santa Claus, but if Santa was a goat demon and the North Pole was a cannibal's winter wonderland. It's frost-bitten fairy tale meets creature feature survival horror. It was giving Grimm's Tales and Krampus by Brom. I rather enjoy this. I gave it a 3.5. I'm a sucker for the old fairy tales and mythology and traditions, and I'm quite aware that some of the ones, especially the Germanic ones to do with Krampus, were quite macabre and grim and rather horrifying. So this is saying, yeah, they were scary, but for reasons, and those reasons being that they're real, and this was meant for your protection, not for your amusement. It was it really puts into play, make sure you're nice because the naughty kids get gobbled up. I was also rooting for Grandpa. I felt for him in how he was kind of ostracized by his family. He was laughed at and ridiculed and mocked for believing in what he was raised with, even though he himself had a first encounter with one of these mythological creatures. I can't remember what it was called. Was it the Yule cat? But it's essentially a giant monstrous cat that likes to kill children, and the only way to save children from the cat's clutches is by giving them a gift of clothing. But even though, yeah, he has the scars to prove it happened, no one really believes him because the old ways have died out. It's all about the modern world and the modern tales where Santa's a jolly old fat man and the elves are cute and toy makers. But yeah, this was just fun and fast-paced and a fun stroll down some Germanic mythology. The next book I read was Twas the Night Before Christmas by Adam Kay. This is non-fiction. I listened to the audiobook, which was also narrated by Adam Kay. So it's Christmas in the NHS. So this is based in the UK. In this, Adam Kay is knee-deep in chaos, body fluids, and festive disasters. Between bauble-related emergencies, miracle births, and the occasional bodily mishap involving mistletoe, this is Christmas with less cheer and more, damn bro. So Adam Kay in this proves that medicine is just dark comedy disguised as public service. This book is a collection of his Christmas diaries. So he was recounting what he experienced on his shifts at Christmas time, and they are hilarious and horrifying. 1 minute you're laughing about a lady using a candy cane as a dildo, and the next you're ugly crying over a patient who loses their child at Christmas. It's crude, clever, and deeply compassionate. I think it's perfect for anyone who's ever had to work through the holidays or needed a laugh to survive one. I will say though that this is very heavy on the dark humor and also the dirty humor. I found it funny, but you will hear the word cum shot and about blokes doing weird shit to their knobs. It can also be incredibly graphic regarding the medical stuff. But by the same token, it's also very morbidly interesting, like seeing a car crash, but more holiday themed. But as I said, please read the trigger warnings with this one. By the end of it, I think you'll definitely have an increased gratitude and empathy towards, or sympathy, is it sympathy in this regards, towards health workers who have to work on the holidays. Who's that you can see in his suit of magenta? It's me. I've been soaked head to toe in placenta. I gave this one a 4 stars. Like I said, it was it's nothing new for me because I am a Reddit user, so I have seen many horrific stories and tales, but this is absolutely legit. Whereas on Reddit, you're like, did this happen, or are you just making this up? Or, are you telling tales? But no, this is some freaky deaky stuff, some things that you just think, guys, do not own a single brain cell. Did you really think that that was a good idea and that wouldn't end in tears or a trip to the ER? But like I said, there were some really funny ones. There was some really gross shit in here, and then there were some sad stories as well. But I could never ever do this kind of job. I think it is brutal, it is taxing, it is overwhelming, it demands a lot of you, and they just have to suck it up and soldier on and continue on. And a lot of them have really long shifts, which I never understood with the medical stuff, like why they make them do such long shifts. But I always take my hat off to anybody who works at the hospital, especially in the emergency room, the ER, because yeah, that is just frenetic, frantic, so stressful. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they can clock in every day and go through such stressful, traumatic, insane events and then just go home and live their lives. I would end up collapsing in the ER. So yeah, no, it's not for the faint of heart. And I also wonder no, I'm wording this wrong. I also don't understand how they can remain professional when faced with some of these situations. I wouldn't be able to. I would be pissing myself laughing, which is probably, like I said, not very professional and not welcomed by the patient, but props, guys, props. And the final book that I read, oh my God, you can't even see my Mary Catmas top. Let me go back. Mary Catmas, guys, was Once Upon a Christmas Eve by Elizabeth Hoyt. This is a historical romance. I listened to this one on audiobook and it was narrated by Ashford McNabb. In this book, a grumpy viscount who hates Christmas ends up stuck in a mansion with a woman he's bad at impressing. Cue snow, coughing grandmas, and instant holiday romance. It's pretty much Scrooge meets Pride and Prejudice, but faster and steamier. This was a very short historical romance that is giving snowy night feels, and Adam, the male protagonist, is your classic arrogant bachelor. He's a playboy, he's stubborn, but when he meets the right woman, suddenly he has a soft interior under that prickly, caddish exterior. And Sarah, our FMC, is sharp, witty, and not here for a rake's nonsense. Until she inexplicably is. So the book leaned very heavily into holiday tropes. You had snowed in, sickly family members, cozy domesticity, and a fast burn romance. I think this would suit most people who like grumpy dude meets spirited heroine. Unfortunately, it didn't really work for me, so I ended up giving this a 2.75. So each chapter began with a snippet from The Frog Princess. I can see the tenuous correlation, but I don't understand why that was necessary to put in. And for me, there's a difference between rakish cat and boorish dickhead, and I found Adam to be the latter. For instance, he called women females, and he just kept talking about his boners. Honestly, he was just a bit of a shit cunt, and I wasn't shipping the two because there was also zero chemistry. And I know this is fast-paced, and I've been down with some fast-paced stuff before, but this one, I didn't buy it. I'm like, why would she go for him? What has he done? He's done nothing. How has he romanced her? How has he won her over? He's just a prick, and she can do better. And then there was a very weird SA scene of her sister in this, and we're told that she also previously was SA'd and had her honor besmirched, which is why she's still single. I don't know, this just didn't work for me in any way, and I was not a fan. But let me sum up the 3 books that I read for this Christmas reading vlog. So we had Once Upon a Christmas Eve by Elizabeth Hoyt. A grumpy Viscount hates Christmas, but can't resist a feisty lady when snow, coughs, and romance intervene. Winterwood by J.G. Faherty. A gory winter's tale where family values meet flesh-eating folklore. And the only way out of the woods is through blood and belief. And my favourite read of this vlog was Twas a Night Before Christmas by Adam Kay. A hilariously grim, festive memoir from a former junior doctor surviving Christmas on the NHS frontline. Let me know down below what a Christmas wish you have, or perhaps a gift that you received or a gift that you gave on Christmas. Or if you don't know what to comment, give me a Christmas tree. And until next time, stay merry, Star Child.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.